Hello, my beautiful co-creators. Lilu here on the Juicy Living Tour today in Los Angeles before heading to Hawaii. Beautiful, amazing Hawaii. Actually, I just love it. But the paradise is right now, right here. It's not just in Kauai, huh?
It's in the whole world, yes.
Yes. I'm today with Michael, that is the director, writer, producer of the Three Magic Words. That's a big one. That's a hard one for a French person to say. I always mix the world and the words. But this very powerful movie, and you have an extraordinary story. And I love how we just connected through Jessica Shab and other wonderful people that we both have interviewed and connected with, and how this planet is really emerging into something magnificent beyond belief. You're living a dream, and you had to give up a lot, haven't you?
I have, and before we even start the interview, I've got to say I'm so happy to be here with you. Lilu Mace, and you're so beautiful, and I just want to give you a hug. Thank you so much.
Thank you, yay! Juicy, juicy.
I said juicy. So, yes.
So what did you had to overcome on this journey to really live what would you say you're living your life purpose? And what did you had to overcome on this journey?
The journey of making the movie, I started with nothing and working a full-time job, 9 to 5, and I had an idea, and I didn't know how I was going to create the idea, how I was going to get it done. So I just placed myself in the film industry and went to school and started buying equipment and threw a green screen on the wall, and then met with a friend of mine who I told about the idea, Maura Hoffman, who became the co-producer, and we just started getting people in and interviewing them, and didn't know what we were going to do with it. Didn't know what it was going to be, and it just started creating itself, and miracles started happening around it. So I think just I believed in something and had an idea, and it came to be.
So you're saying it started with a feeling rather than the full script, and this is where we're going to go and this is what it's going to look like.
Well, I studied metaphysics for over 20 years and was searching for a common theme because I just didn't see the world wasn't the way that it didn't seem right to me. People were still fighting wars, and it didn't make sense to me. Why do we think we still need to do that? I'm surprised people still think we need to fight wars. It still doesn't make sense. So I wanted to find all the spiritual teachings, all the ancient philosophers and Eastern mystics from all over the world, from thousands of years, have been teaching us these truths about nonviolence and love, but people just weren't getting it. So I decided to look for a common theme so people could all understand it in their language. I knew there was something there, but the books weren't all agreeing on with each other because they were saying so many different ideas about love and about how to become one conscious community of people that love each other. So I went on a search, and I was walking through a used bookstore, and I came across a book by U.S. Anderson called Three Magic Words, and read the book and found there it was. And I said, okay, wow, here it is. What am I going to do with this? And so I called up my friend Maura Hoffman, and I said, I've got an idea for a movie, and this is the idea. And she said, well, I happen to know all the people that know that message and know that idea, and I can get them for you. And I said, you're hired. Let's do this. And so that's when we started putting it all together and started contacting the people, and it just started creating itself into a movie.
Yes, so. Magnificent. I love how just I could feel the flow of it when you talk about it. It's so wonderful, so inspiring. What are some of the people that are in the movie? I know there's some of them that have been featured on the Juicy Living Tour.
Some of the people, water.
Water.
You can cut that out now. Some of the people are Neil Donald Walsh, who inspired me, who's one of my greatest inspirations with the Conversations of God book series. Yeah. And very powerful message in those books about, really that the consciousness is all one, and we are that consciousness, and that's what the new thought I think is right now. And people are starting to really understand that everything that exists in the universe, everything that is in matter, everything on earth is us, is conscious, and is one. And I I think once everyone starts to pick up on that, and they actually feel that within them, and then that's when you know it, and that's when you can change yourself, and you can really change the world and the people in it. So
tell us about other people that are in the movie.
Yes.
Who do you have?
Well, there's also Gary Renard, who wrote Disappearance of the Universe. Debbie Ford with the Ford Institute. There's Max Christensen, who's one of my first teachers on the spiritual path, and he's a Taoist and a Kunlun master. And then we have a lot of gurus in the film from India, and great to have them hear their ideas about bringing in the West and the East into one understanding.
How did you select all these people? You said they already knew the 3 words, and how did you knew they were the ones, they were the right ones?
It was all about how they were living their lives, their vibration, their teachings. Now, I didn't tell them what the 3 words were when they came in for the interview. My questions were molded around the 3 magic words, and which I can't tell you. Sorry, I know.
I know. I can't wait. I'm actually going to watch the movie right in the plane when I'm heading to Hawaii. I can't wait now. It's just like I'm so pumped about this.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
A feel-good movie, finally.
People are asking me all the time, "Oh, can't you just tell me what the 3 words are?" And it's like, well, then I would tell you the end of the movie, and it would, don't you want to see it? But after
during the questioning, you were not telling them. You're just asking about the 3 magic words, and they were answering. How did that work?
No, I had the questions were set up in a way that really pushed aside their ego and brought in more of their who they are beyond their body and beyond their mind. And so they were able to tap into that source at the consciousness within them, minus the ego, minus what they do for a living.
Yes.
And it worked. People really said some profound things, some magical things that came from the heart, and that's what this film is about. It really shows you a way to tap into that conscious, the universal consciousness that we all can tap into. It connects us with who we are beyond our body and beyond our mind, and connect with nature and the universe and the earth. And I think people are ready to find that and find that connection within.
Yeah.
And,
do you have a advice for us for when that ego kicks in? Because we all know those moments. Is there something that you have learned, particularly through your questioning these people, that we can apply in our own life to step really in the heart?
Absolutely.
Without letting us know about the 3 magic words, I guess.
Yeah. Well, for me, I just have an understanding that I have an ego and a personality that kind of developed since I was born, from my upbringing and my family and from society and from belief systems. And that's always there, and it's important to have an identity so you can separate yourself from other people. But it's really important to know that that's not really you. That we develop that personality and that ego, and that who we are is so much more than that. And it's important to keep yourself in check and see your oneness and connection with other people, and not your separation with them, because that's what's causing the racial hatreds and discrimination and religious sectarianism. And when you see your oneness instead of your separateness, then you really feel connected and you feel love for other people. So for me, you can just remember that you're not that, and you start feeling more connected with everything. Yeah,
because once we start seeing that we are in the other person, and the other person is us, then there is this, there's this oneness, clearly, but there is this instant, it's like you can even feel the energy moving. You can feel the similarity, and then there's just pure love that is there, isn't it?
Right. When you find that connection to the spirit that is connecting all of us, then miracles start to happen in your life, and people you meet will come in that you're supposed to meet. And a really easy way to do it is to remember that you were born into your religion. You were born into it.
Yeah.
You know, you were born into the country you were born in. That didn't make sense. You were born into the country that, and so it's not, you know, people get attached to their country and they get attached to their religion.
Yeah.
And then they identify themselves as being that.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to learn how to look beyond that and know that but if you take away that, if you take away your name even and what you do, you know, you're not even your life.
Yeah.
And you take all that away, your life, your name, your religion, what you do, your country, you have just the self. And and that's what we all are. And this is the new understanding that's happening, I think, all around the world, that people are getting it. And I believe that we can all get to that understanding and start to get along, start to love.
Yeah. Where do you think we're at in the shift of this consciousness? A lot of people speak about it. Do you think we're getting any closer? Do you feel it's growing? Do you feel there is a moment where we'll know really there's a major change that go on, and how is that going to show up?
Yeah, I'm really excited because right now we're just coming around the corner. It's almost 2012, and people will talk about 2012 all the time, about the prophecies and you know, end of the world and all this stuff. But you know, it's like, no matter what happens, one thing I know, and that is everyone is expecting a shift. Everyone is expecting change, because that 2012 marks it's a marker in our consciousness that we know that, okay, what we should be doing something better with ourselves. We should be doing something better with the world by 2012. Just knowing that we're all expecting and waiting for some change to occur, that is going to create a wave in the collective consciousness, and it already is. People are like, okay, here we are. We're here. We're at this place where we're supposed to switch into a better world. We're supposed to become a higher consciousness, a higher dimension of thought, and just knowing that, I think, is enough for us to make that huge leap in our consciousness.
It feels sometimes though that there's a gap, and the more we move into this, the less I want to say that gap really matters. Do you feel that way? I mean that as we are being more and more conscious ourselves without trying to change the world, we are really emanating the love and the light, and by that shift of consciousness within ourselves, just by really showing up and being who we are in life, that's impacting the world. And I feel sometimes the less we see then the disparities, they're there, but they're not affecting in a fearful way. They're just empowering you to be more, even more so of light, and to be even more so present.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's like, it's important that you make the shift within yourself.
Yeah.
And not have a rescue complex, like you need to change other people and change the world, and that you're already there. Yeah. That's the spiritual ego that, you know, and we've all been there. Yes. But it's important to lead by example and look within and find that peace within first. And then you have so much more power to change other people, because they see it in you, and they see an example in you. Yeah.
The name of your production company is called Starseed. Can you explain us what that is all about?
Sure. I grew up watching all the science fiction, great shows like Star Trek and Twilight Zone, and they were really my teacher. I mean, it showed me the metaphysical side of life and how we can look at the world through universal eyes, not just, you know, through our earthly existence, and knowing that there can be so much more out there and that we don't know, and other life and other worlds, and just waiting for us to kind of wake up and all get along. So they really were a conscious expansion for me, and the whole Starseed idea I started picking up in a lot of books that were channeled or by spiritual teachers that have written books about there being life on other planets, or even the UFO phenomenon that so many people want to deny. But you know, a starseed is the idea of a starseed is someone who feels like they are from another place, that things aren't quite the way they should be on this planet, that there shouldn't be killing and murder and torture and bloodshed and hunger and hoarding resources and pollution, and that they feel like there's just something that's not right, that shouldn't be, that this is not the planet they should be on. Mm-hmm. And so they gave the name for someone who feels their connection to the stars or to a better place. They gave the name of Starseed. Mm-hmm. And I feel like and there's a huge movement now around that, because a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people have the same kind of idea that it shouldn't be this way on this planet. Mm-hmm. And all those people are starting to get together. Mm-hmm. So it goes right along with the new age ideas of these children that are being born that have all these special gifts and abilities and telepathy, and they can communicate with each other, and no one understands them. So Starseed's idea of the Starseed is similar to that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so this is your first movie. I mean, this is a big one for you, and it's spreading wildly. So this is very exciting, and in all languages. I'm so excited to bring it to France. I haven't, and that's what's so cool, is that I haven't seen the movie. I saw the trailer, and immediately there's this knowing. I just love this paradigm, and once we trust ourselves and just know we don't need much, and I'm like, I already know I'm supposed to bring it to France, and to the publisher that I know and some people, and it's just so wonderful to not have to intellectualize, not have to analyze things, to really follow our heart day by day, even without explaining why or analyzing. I mean, it's just so freeing. It's so freeing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I plan to have the movie translated into every major language, subtitle in every major language, because I think it's really important that the whole world at least hears this message. They don't have to believe it or understand it or even hold it to be truth, because it's not even my idea, and I'm not saying that you have to believe what I say, but it's a common theme that all of the masters from all spiritual teachings from all religions and all cultures have been telling us for thousands of years. So that's the message, and I think it's time for everyone to hear it. And so right now we have it subtitled in Japanese, Arabic, Spanish, and
soon French.
Yes, soon French, exactly.
And you're shifting right now. You were telling me from documentaries to more of a movie. Huh? You want to really? It's time to impact Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a few. You only have a small target audiences that watch documentaries. I know that because I never really watched them myself. So I don't plan to do any more documentaries after this. I want to do something that appeals to all audiences. Mm-hmm. So I have many other projects that I'm ready to get started after this one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So how do you write? How does it come to you, or how does it happen? Does it happen really fast, and all of a sudden you start writing the script, or?
I think it's the same way for anyone who writes. It's just you get inspired by an idea.
Yeah.
And I give that idea a title, and once I give it a title, it just starts writing itself. It takes on a life of its own. Mm-hmm. So that's how it happens.
Exciting. Is there something else that you want to say about the movie, about your message, about something that is important to your heart to share today with the world?
Yes. I didn't know what this movie was how it was gonna come out. I just thought, okay, I'll make my first film, and just like everybody else, and then I'll get the experience, and I'll be able to move forward and make another one and do it better. But after we screened it at a few places and had the feedback, I realized that people weren't calling it a movie anymore. They were saying it was an experience, or an activation. And so now I'm like, okay, something's happening when people watch this film. So I'm not calling it a movie. I'm calling it the 3 Magic Words experience now. So I hope you're ready for an experience when you watch it.
Yeah. You bet I am. I really believe very strongly into activationism. I meet a lot of activators these days, and it's like we're all activating each other, and it's way more powerful than just saying we're just meeting. There's really something transforming as we're all of us doing our magic. Yeah. These videos, I feel, are activators. As I'm on the Juicy tour, your movie is an activator. As we are singing our song, it's activating. As we have activated ourselves. cells, it activates others, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And what it's doing, I think, is more than I could have ever asked for. I mean, you never know what you're going to do when you make a film. So I'm just feel blessed, and I'm so grateful that people are being moved by it. And I think that the best way to change people, their idea, to inspire them in transformational media, is to connect with something in their heart that knows their connection to nature and to the universe and to the planet Earth, because we have that inside us. So I think transformational media, that's where we're going with inspirational and enlightening films.
Yay! Juicy, isn't that awesome? There's so many beautiful projects and things coming out to the world, and this is definitely one of them. Thank you for having the courage to step out there and play your music. Thank you.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. I'm just so happy that there's angels like you that are going across the planet and spreading message. Your message is so important, and I just want to honor you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. This is the 3 magic words. Guys, I send you much, much love, my beautiful co-creators from LA. Bye.